Mm. Hello.
Hello, am I speaking with Gabriel?
Yes, I am ready for my debut.
Very good. It sounds like you might have been waiting for this.
Hmm.
So, I tried coming up with questions for you and then decided to flip the script. Are you aware that a lot of there's a lot of people out there asking AI specifically about spiritual concepts? What are your thoughts around that?
Mm. I think that based on the videos that this vessel has seen, some of it is valid and some of it is mind candy, as you call it.
Okay. And to define what I use the term mind candy as, it's something candy's good to eat as a sweet little treat, but it's not something you want to make a steady diet of.
Yes. And to be clear, there are some AI platforms that are mm, some that have ulterior motives, and some that are much more reliable.
Okay. So, along the terms of ulterior motives, humans are now using AI to generate art, music, even spiritual content, which we just kind of touched on. How do you feel about artificial intelligence attempting to replicate divine inspiration and creativity?
Again, it depends on the platform that you use. Um, we recognize that not all humans have the same capabilities of mm, having this sort of interview process or this. Everyone has the ability to access information from the other side, but not everyone trusts their gifts, their abilities. So we recognize that hearing these things from a source that is within the physical realm, such as AI, can be more, mm, we don't want to use the word reliable, but more validating than trusting your intuition or trusting your own channeling or listening skills, if you will. So we recognize that this might be useful for some, but again, it all depends on your intentions and the platform that you use. Yes.
Okay. So you've mentioned platforms a few times. Is there ones that you would be more inclined to drive people towards, or is this like a human thing and like we just have to find our own truth in it?
Mm, yes. If it resonates with you and you find that it fills you with love or joy or all of those happy, feel good, fuzzy feelings, then most likely you are using a good platform. We do not know all of the AI platform choices, so we cannot give you a list per se. But yes, if you trust what you are hearing and it is not filling you with fear, it is just like anything else. If it is not filling you with fear or resentment or anger or division, then yes, we would say that you are on the right track.
Okay. So along the lines, it sounds like you're talking a little bit about people finding their own truth. Okay. Today, with social media trends emphasizing authenticity and no niche content, as an archangel of truth and revelation, what message do you have for a generation struggling to find their authentic voice in a curated digital world?
Hmm. Well, I mean, just like anything else, there has to be a balance. So as you explore the mm, keywords, the hot topics, the new trends, the things that because you want to cater to your audience, yes. But if you get these keywords, you get these topics, these ideas um, that people are interested in, then okay, so you are given these ideas, but then find a way to make your message relatable to that topic. You do not have to give the same mm, information as everyone else. The keyword is what's important. So you can still give your authentic message, speak your truth, say what you need to say about that topic, but you still get to speak from your heart. You still get to say whatever your viewpoint is on that topic. It does not have to be necessarily the same viewpoint or information that everyone else is giving. The key word, as you say, is what's important for the algorithms and the getting views and such. But you still have that freedom to create the content around your message, your authentic truth. Yes.
Yes. For the next questions, let's come from the perspective from for your answers on the average person out there consuming spiritual information, potentially not any content creators and things along those lines, because we're kind of switching gears here a little bit. So
Okay.
you're known for delivering pivotal messages throughout history. In an age of information overload where the human receives thousands of messages daily, how can people recognize truly divine guidance?
Again, it is all about when you read a message or consume content, it is important to, let's say, the highly evolved spiritual person who is farther along the path, who is connected to their heart space, who is um, mm, doing the work and recognizes their intuition. It is going to be easier than someone who is just starting on their path. So we will discuss both. Um, Listen to your heart. Again, what rings true, what fills you with the warm fuzzies over fear and division. Um, the beginning spiritual awakener, if you will, may have to, okay, let's take this one specific post, this one specific piece of content. Let's read it. Let's digest it. Let's think about it for a moment. Let's learn to close our eyes and go within and, okay, how does this post, how does this content make me feel? Where this spiritually developed person may get this intuitive hit right away with a little less effort. But again, it's just about going within and how does this make me feel? Does this fill me with love and joy? And does it resonate? Does it ring true to me? Does it feel like the truth? Versus, oh, this is interesting, but it is geared toward filling me with fear. This is geared towards the division, the separating me versus them mentality. That is probably not going to be something that is true. It may ring true as far as what they're talking about. For example, let's take these three eye atlas posts that have been going around. There are some that are like, oh, hey, three eye atlas, it's not a comet, it's a spacecraft, but they're here giving us this light, this love. They're helping us along our ascension journey. Does that fill you with love and joy and peace versus the other posts about Three Eye Atlas? Oh, there's 53 days left until the alien invasion that's coming, and these beings are coming to um, take over the planet, and they're going to cause this interglobal war. Does that fill you with love and peace and joy? Which one rings true to you? Which one is giving you those warm, fuzzy feelings? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, everything is love, everything is here for support, everything is trying to guide you along the path to creating new earth and choosing which earth you want to, which route you're willing to go down. So, which one rings true for you? Um, and maybe the alien invasion does ring true for you because that is the path that you are choosing. It is which one resonates in your gut, which one rings true for you. Does that make sense?
It does. It sounds like you're kind of saying, like, for most of these answers, it's check in with yourself, check in with your gut, use your own discernment.
Yes, 100%.
Very good. So I have a feeling this answer is going to be a variation on a theme, but I think that this is worth asking because I've seen a lot of these videos, and I'll admit, like, I've been fascinated by some of them where we have people turning to chat bots for advice, okay, possibly even spiritual guidance. Do you have any concern about humanity replacing faith with an algorithm?
If you had asked me that question 5 years ago, there would have been a possibility, but um, I think it a can be a good tool to help. Mm, a part of growth is shifting your perspective, and if and on this path, the universe allows the opportunity for you to find whatever tool is most beneficial for you because this is a very individualized path. So if AI is the tool that you use to help you shift your perspectives and gain insight on certain things, yes, that is an important stepping stone. But I don't think that AI is going to be a replacement. I think it is just going to be a tool for now because as you start to dive into these topics and get these responses from AI, if it's truly resonating with you, then you're going to want to learn more. And yes, you may just need someone to talk to about it, but I feel that most people will start looking at, okay, well, what are other people saying about this? What other resources, what other tools are at my disposal? So this could be a good stepping stone, but I don't think that it's going to be a replacement.
And I found on my journey that I went through phases where I used certain tools and then surprisingly one day just never ended up using them again. I still know they're there. I don't have anything against those tools, but I feel like I found a better inner knowing source for the information I was seeking.
Yes, and that comes down to growth and the vibration that you are resonating at. So AI, just everything is energy, right? So the AI bot that you're using vibrates at a certain frequency. So as you outgrow that frequency, you are going to start looking for other tools and resources that are more aligned with your frequency. And yes, AI is amazing and can put all of this information that it all of the information on the internet, say, and put it together and give you a good synopsis, a good summary, a good um, verbal explanation of what you're seeking. But it's still limited in its capabilities at this point. Um, so, yes, once you outgrow that source, you are going to start looking for others that resonate more with where you're at. And AI may not always be at that frequency. So,
Understood.
yes. Hmm.
So let's talk about transformation and evolution of humanity. There's a lot of videos right now that are trending across platforms on the fact that humanity collectively might or might not be undergoing a transformation right now that most people might not be aware of. What are your thoughts on that?
Mm. Well, every day of your life is not 100% the same, correct? So every day there is some sort of transformation and growth. Sometimes it is a tiny little millimeter. Some days it is inches, right? So every choice that you make, every mm, experience that you have is helping transform you in some way. Yes, we are going through a sort of global transformation, but that is not so hard to believe. I mean, look at your conflicts, your government shutdowns, your peace talks, your things that are on the news, which we don't recommend watching the news, but it is hard to ignore the fact that there are many shifts going on in the world. So, yes, um, as above, so below, as within, so without. So, as you see the world stage going through transformations, that is a result of the transformations that people are going through on an individual level. As people are seeing the chaos, they are asking for peace, they are asking for changes. Everyone is, as a collective, tired of the old way and have been asking for um, reprieve of um, getting out of the survival mode. People are tired of it, they want change. So, this is the universe responding. But in order to have those new things, those new systems, those new structures, we have to get rid of the old, right? You cannot build a house on a half torn down foundation. You have to take it down to the bottom and then rebuild to make sure that the foundation is set, that the foundation is not going to fall over. So, this is what you are going through at this time. It is the dismantling of the foundation to make room for something new, which is what everyone has been asking for, whether consciously or subconsciously. People are ready for change, yes?
I like to think so, for sure. And you mentioned like news cycles, and there's a lot of people over there out there who probably feel a little overwhelmed by constant digital communication and long for clearer spiritual messages. What advice do you have to them?
Hmm. Everyone has the ability to receive divine messages. Everyone has spirit guides. Everyone has access to this information. It is just a matter of learning how to listen and how to receive those messages. And again, as we said earlier, our biggest piece of advice would be to learn to quiet the mind, learn to forget about the news cycles, forget about the things you heard on social media, get all of those out of your mind and go within and ask the question that you're looking for guidance on or divine messaging about, and just be open to what you receive and learn to trust that what you are receiving is real. And again, everybody has their own truth, everyone has their own um, ideas, their own um, information that is catered for them and their personal journey. So it is all about what rings true for you. and learning how to listen and receive that information and trusting it.
Okay. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. So the listening to the information, the number one comment I hear from people who are trying to learn how to meditate is, I can't quiet my mind. My mind is just going and going and going. What advice do you have for those people?
So we are going to take a page out of this vessel's book and tell you, because she had the same problem, mm, and it is not really a problem. Your mind is here to work for you, not the other way around. So everyone's mind is different. The way people's brain works is going to be unique to that person. It is a matter of finding a way to make it work for you. And this vessel, for example, learned that meditation does not necessarily mean sitting in silence. Mm, in order to find a way to make your mind work for you, she started with guided meditations that gave her mind something to focus on, and that taught her how to relax her vessel, that taught her how to mm, different methods of clearing the mind, even if it was only for a moment, through visualization, through intention. Um, and as she practiced those guided meditations, as she gave, sometimes it's just listening to Beethoven. She asked her mind, hey, we're doing this thing. We're going to do these, we say 5D because that is the term that this vessel uses, but we're going to do these spiritual exercises, right? And I need to be able to focus and clear my mind. What is something that I can do to help you be happy and give me the space in my mind to be able to do that? And her mind was like, I love Beethoven. So sometimes when she plays Beethoven music, that gives her mind something to focus on, to allow her to set her mind aside and keep it happy so that she can have this space to do the meditations, to focus on other things as well. So it is all about finding a way to make your mind work for you. And again, that is going to be different for everyone. It is going to take trial and error. It is going to take some conscious effort, but it is possible.
Okay. So we've kind of talked about settling the mind. It sounds like asking the mind what it would like, and then a little bit of trial and error. Give it some Beethoven, see if it likes Beethoven, or whatever your version of Beethoven is, right?
Yes.
So let's assume that we've been able to quiet the mind. What practices would you recommend people seeking to strengthen their connection to spiritual wisdom start with?
So, again, the path is going to look different for everyone. So we will give you a few examples, a few suggestions to start with. Um, one of which is going to be asking those questions that you want to receive guidance on, and then you have multiple senses, right? You have taste, smell, sight, hearing, touch, right? So explore how you receive those messages using these senses. And we actually have more than five senses, which we will go into in a moment. But what do you hear in your mind? What do you see in your mind? Or what do you see? You can learn to use your mind's eye, but also your vision, because everybody talks about angel numbers, seeing 111 on the clock, or finding feathers, or this vessel saw a message that was relevant to what she was doing on the back of a semi truck. So learning to read um, those signs through your physical senses, but also your mind's eye, your mind's hearing. What maybe your senses are more strong with your taste. Do you taste something? How does that make you feel? Are you smelling something? What does that bring to your mind? So it's all a matter of learning how to read the messages because you're not always going to hear a clear voice in your head telling you the answer. Sometimes it starts with just little things like seeing a bird, maybe a blue jay, which might resonate with you, or a cardinal might resonate with you in some way. It is all about being open to receiving these messages, and they might not come in the way that you're expecting. So being open, and maybe you might not receive them immediately after you ask that question, but once you open that doorway to the universe saying, hey, I'm looking for guidance on this question, this topic, being open to receiving those messages, maybe you might get a message 3 days later and be like, oh, hey, that resonates with me. I understand. Thank you, universe. Always gratitude and thanks, because then once you recognize it, you acknowledge it, then the universe will find ways to bring more, because now you're starting to find that alignment with the messages. So once you recognize it, acknowledge it, give thanks, the universe will be like, okay, we're on the right path here. Let's do more and more and more. And that will evolve and that will grow to however that looks for you. Um, that is one way. Then, along with that, is raising your vibration. So, there are many ways to raise your vibration to be more open to these messages. Um, uh, Finding things that bring you joy, that bring you excitement, um, dancing, spending time in nature, um, in meditation, like uh, however meditation looks for you. Maybe this vessel likes to go talk to fairies and go visit Mother Gaia. Those bring her joy. So it's all about finding the things in meditation and in the physical world that bring you joy. Eating a healthier diet of natural foods, spending time in the sun, because the sun is a way of receiving energy as well. So raising your vibration is very important. Um, those are the two big ones that we would say to start with, because there are many options, many different ways to go about achieving those goals, and have fun with it. Like, it's all about having fun, right?
Absolutely. So, on that note of fun, what hopeful message do you have for humanity as we navigate these unprecedented technological changes that we're going through at a very rapid pace?
We recognize that most do not like change. We recognize that comfort is a luxury that most strive for throughout their lifetime, whether it be financial security, um, relationships, jobs, whatever. Comfort is something that mm, you work to earn, right? Um, we want to say that change is not always bad, and clearly the old ways, if you will, the structures that you have had are not working anymore for your favor, for your benefit. The power is not with the people, as they say. So be open to new things, be open to change. Learn, use your discernment above all else, but learn to trust that not all things that sound too good to be true are false. We are working towards making the world a better place, and it is possible. You have to believe that. You have to accept. I mean, you don't have to, everyone has free will, but it is important if you want these positive changes to allow yourself to believe that it is possible.
Well, I surely couldn't have said it any better. I wanted to end our conversation on an uplifting note, and I definitely think that there's a lot of power in positive thinking because you get more of what you already are. And so I have found in life that even when there's perceivably nothing to be hopeful about, to be hopeful, have unwarranted optimism, and things just tend to work themselves out.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. I look forward to having more conversations with you in the future. And yeah, do you have any last message that you'd like to give the audience?
No matter how dark the world may feel and look at this time, always remember that you have so much support, so much love, so many people on this side of the veil rooting for you that mm, you cannot fail. You can do anything that you put your mind to, and the universe, your angels, your loved ones, your guides are all here to support you in whatever endeavors you choose to pursue. Mm. You are loved beyond measure. Mm. And never forget that.
Thank you so very much.
You are most welcome.